Hello everyone, Tandy Ellis-Sala here, your Chief Inspiration Officer and Leadership Coach. And this is the week 6 list for the book 52 Lists for Happiness, Weekly Journaling Inspiration for Positivity, Balance, and Joy by Moria Seal. And this is interesting because everything happens as in divine order. I really believe that. And what's really interesting here is this list 6, is to list the things from your past and present that feel like blockades in the way of your happiness. Now, fast forward or backtrack. Last week, visibility is my word for 2017. And I'm really wanting to find ways to put myself out there more. And I, earlier this week, hi Laura. I posted a message in a Facebook group. It wasn't a video, it was just a written message about sharing about the one secret, the one thing that I didn't want anyone to know about me. We all have that deep, dark something. And I, at a live event in the end of January, one of the exercises was to take a piece of paper and write down what that one thing is, and then have a partner and share it. So it was in a sacred space, all is well. And the thing that I shared, hi Becky, the thing that I shared at that event was, I thought, oh, this is cool. I'm releasing and letting it go. But I didn't realize until that moment that I needed to release it. I didn't realize that not sharing my deepest, darkest secret and the thing that I didn't want anyone to know about me was blocking my vulnerability, my ability to really step out and stand out as a leader. And I couldn't break the feeling that I needed to share this on a larger scale. And so in the this very sacred group, of infinite receivers, hosted by Maru Ayabichela, who I adore, this very safe space I shared, which I'm about to share here. Hi Donna, I'm about to share here. And I just kept thinking about this thing, and I was like, gosh, why is this coming up now? Like, I thought I healed this. It happened decades ago. And what happened was, as I shared, I got a lot of messages, private messages from people from women that thanked me for sharing and shared how my courage in sharing is helping them to dust off any, things that they didn't want anybody to know about them either. And having the vulnerability and the courage to share that. And so, I thought about different things from my past that I felt could be blockades to my happiness, but I've really done a lot of work, a lot of work on myself, with myself, for myself. And yet the one thing, hi Jen, that I shared in this other group, this very sacred, loving space group, which gave me the courage to do this video. And interestingly, this video is in line with the next list on this 52 happy list of listing the things that felt like blockades in the way of my happiness. And I didn't realize until I shared it that it was blocking my happiness. And I'll tell you what the secret is, and then I'll tell you what I've gained from that in just this week. So, when I was 17, I had an abortion. If you know me, I have had 3 amazing kids. They've grown up to be just terrific adults. And there hasn't been a day that has gone by, 17, 27, 37, 47, in 31 years, that I haven't thought about that baby. I had so much shame and guilt around having that abortion, because at the time I thought, oh, this is the quote easy way out. I ended up marrying the man, and we had 3 amazing kids together. But I was 17, and we never know what we're going to do until we're faced with a situation. And there were a lot of reasons that I didn't want that shame, that story, that knowing to come out, for a lot of reasons. One, I was used to be involved in a youth organization as an adult leader, and I didn't want people to know that about my past. I thought people would judge me. Hi, Kate. I thought people would judge me. I thought people would call me all kinds of horrible things. I mean, abortion can be such an emotionally charged topic. And I was afraid that people would judge me. I was afraid that people would respect me less, think less of me, all that stuff. And there were 2 things that helped me heal from that decision that I made when I was 17 years old. Years later, I had already had 2 kids. I'd already had Amanda and Sarah. And I was driving somewhere home. It was late at night, and I thought, I was overcome with grief about this baby. I kept thinking, I robbed my kids of having an older sibling. I did something that so many women around the world sometimes struggle to have a baby and conceive. And there was so much shame around that. Like, why did I do that? And as I grew as a mother, I also felt guilt, because I thought, well, what if this baby, I would think about where I would be, where we would be, and how that baby would impact our lives and all of that. And I think about my kids, and I think about I could never, the thought of me not having my kids is horrible. And all those years, I was beating myself up. Like, seriously, guys, there is nothing anybody can say to me or try to shame me or say stuff to me that I already haven't done to myself or said to myself. And while I don't plan on running for political office, or anything like that, I really wanted to get that out. I wanted that shame, that guilt, the healing to just finally be done. Because, awesome. Thank you so much. I, have discovered in sharing initially with this other group that there are so many women that that can resonate with what I was struggling with and with what I was saying, and I thought, this is just priceless. Like, it happened to be list 6, the thing that feels like a blockade in the way of my happiness. And in this other group, well, let me backtrack. So the second thing, well, what I ended up doing was I stopped on the side of this road because it was late at night and I was driving, and I literally couldn't drive anymore. So I pulled off to the side of the road and I just bawled my eyes out. I screamed. I was hitting the steering wheel. I was crying. I was apologizing. I was, hi, Kristen. I was so emotionally a wreck. Because I had developed as a mother and I developed spiritually, and so it made that decision that I made at 17 years old to end a pregnancy, made it extremely difficult moving forward in my life in ways that I had no idea that it would do that. And I felt so much better after that release. Fast forward probably 10 or 15 years, I was part of a healing group workshop, and I saw in my mind's eye, I saw my grandma who had passed over several years prior, and she was holding the hand of this little boy. And I knew that this little boy was this baby. And she said that she was taking care of him and it was okay. And that the soul of this baby would come through one of my grandchildren. And when I got that message, I still get chills when I think about it. It really helped me in a profound way. Now, fast forward to now, I really want to, stand up and step out and be the most transparent leader that I can be. And in order for me to do that, I need to be in full self-acceptance, in full self-love, in full self-compassion. And I needed to, really fully forgive myself for that decision when I was 17 years old. And so, I decided today was the day to go live and share my deepest, darkest secret that I didn't want anyone to know about me. And I have a lot of respect for people that feel differently and believe differently, and I'm not afraid anymore of being judged. I really could care less. And it serves me to share my story and to share, it doesn't matter how it happened or why it happened. But the fact that I, when I was 17, that I did end a pregnancy and I did have an abortion I had had a lot of self-forgiveness and self-compassion, self-love that I needed to work through. And maybe that's the karmic connection between us. I don't know. But I do know that it's time to let it go. And it's time to be free from that. And I feel like if people, if you're watching this, listening to this, etc., whether live or on the replay, and you are like, oh, wow, I can't connect with Tandy anymore because of this, or, what have you, that's your choice, and that's your decision. And I honor that. And people that know me have known me for a long time, and even know my amazing kids and the amazing family we have. Maybe know that, stuff happens, and, sometimes we make decisions in our lives that we're not proud of. And I believe that it's one of our biggest responsibilities as leaders, whether we're leading a nation, a team, our families, ourselves. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to ourselves to look at where past decisions or even current decisions have blocked us from abundance, from health, from happiness, from what have you, and release that, release that, because life is too short to live it in shame and with guilt. And Kate, exactly. And that has been my dilemma for so many years, because I had 3 beautiful kids, and I felt so bad. I felt so humiliated and shamed because of how so many women, like you, who have been trying to conceive. And Jade, thank you so much. Oh, I honor you so much. Thank you so much for being here on this live video. Ah! It's out there now. You're right. It's not where we were, but in how we got from there to here. And the truth is, I'm a pretty amazeballs person. I'm an amazing leader. I'm a fantastic mother. I'm an amazeballs grant to my grandnephew, Jackson. I'm just an amazing friend, sister, and person. And I have allowed myself, hi Amanda, I have allowed myself to let that go, to let that past, to let what happened all those decades ago to just clear and allow me to be the best person I can be. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. Yeah. it really was the best decision, the best choice for me at the time. Although, you know, I married this guy and we got married and, you know, we're married for 10 years and had 3 amazeballs kids. It was still really difficult, really, really difficult. So, anyhow, that's my thing. I just wanted to share that with you. And so, you know, my challenge for you, is to look at your list, you know, list the things from your past and present that are blockades in the way of your happiness. And I encourage you to look back, also on your list 5, last week's list, which was looking at your past great decisions, the best decisions in your life, and how that influenced how you handle things today. And is there anything in terms of the best decisions you've made in your life from last week that fall into this week that you can go, oh, wow, yeah, let me just get some clarity or, you know, openness about, because sometimes it's that little thing inside that is in the back of your head that's like preoccupies your mind, and the thing that you were like, oh my God, I would never want anybody to know this about me, or, you know, like I just shared today, or you know, anything at all. It can be emotional eating, it can be divorce, it can be being a victim of domestic violence, it can be, I mean, 1,000 different things that it could be for each of us, right? We're all walking our own journey, but the thing I wanted to share with you is the freedom that comes from making it real, from writing it down, and even going on a live video and making it real, and sharing so that you can heal. I seriously, like, really, I've done a lot of work on myself over the decades, and still there was that one thing. And now that one thing has been shared, I can't even tell you how much freer I feel. And so, yeah, so there you go. There's list 6. And the biggest thing that was in the way, blockade of my happiness, true happiness, which again, I didn't even realize that was a thing still until this live event. And I was just like, you know, consumed with it since then. And I just felt like I really had to share, just had to. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and if you are so inclined, I would love to know what is on your list, past or present, that are potential blockades to your happiness. My hope and prayer is that you release that and let it go, and so that you can move through, and thank you, Kate. Thank you, Jerry. So that you can choose happiness and self-love, because that's what we all deserve. All right, my friends, you have a good rest of your day. Mwah. Love you all. Bye.